Hi, this is my fifth game in the Norwegian Chess Championship 2010 Class 4, and my opponent is Christian Poppe, which plays for the Chess Club 1911, and he has a rating of 1168. If I don't want my bishop here, which is on a dark square, to be blocked in by his pawn, which might come even further down, I need to exchange it. And right now, if he castles kingside, he'll have a semi-open f-file here. And I want to do the same thing with my f2 pawn to move it up to f4, but I cannot do that now because my king will be in check by this bishop here. So I need to trade my knight for his bishop. And if he just castles now and I take it, I will give him an isolated pawn here on e5, which I might be able to attack later on. But at the same time, I'll give him a very good outpost for his knight on d4. And if I trade knights with him, he will have a great outpost for one of his pawns. But he decides to move his bishop back here, and I still want to trade it. And right now I need to decide whether to take his knight here or just back off. And he comes with a very early attack. What he didn't see was that I can actually take his pawn here on g5 and take some of the momentum out of his attack. But if I did that, the situation would be like this, and I would get 2 pawns and he would get my bishop. At the same time, I would have open files here, which is a disadvantage to me, because right here he can place his rooks and queen and you name it, all pointing down towards my castle position. So I decide against it and I make a little loophole for my bishop here. Christian continues with his attack here, and I have to decide where to place my knight. But for now, we can exchange some pawns. Now, if I put my knight here on h4, I'm going to be pressured. So I decide to place my knight here on h2, and I really have a pressure here on his g4 pawn. And I decide to take it. And he gets one more rook into action. And this pawn move here to c3 is actually to prevent his knight on c6 coming down to d4 and participating in the battle. And I have to move my king here to f2, because even though my bishop is kind of hidden away, it has no one to protect it. And right now my opponent asks me for a draw. I decline it. And if we have time for it, I'll go through the reasons afterwards. Right now, his other knight comes into action, and I get to swing my rook over here on h1. And the reason for this is if there is an exchange of pieces here on g4, the one I will definitely trade with is this knight here on h2. And with the knight gone, he's going to have to choose here if he wants to exchange more pieces on the h1 square. Either he's going to have to take my rook here, and if he doesn't, he's going to have to back off the h-file or protect it. And if he backs off, I'll dominate the h-file. He's putting more pressure on me here, and I want my rooks connected. Now the downside to this is if these 2 bishops either get traded or have to move off, the only piece which is protecting this pawn here on g2 is my king. And with 2 rooks here, my king has no chance. With a check, my king has to move, and my queen is for the taking. So this move here to g1 is to prevent this scenario if it ever shows up. And right now we're battling it out over the g4 square, and I lose the pawn which I gained earlier, and my bishop has a safe haven here on h4 for the while being. A check, And right now I'm able to protect my bishop with a pawn, and the only way he's going to budge them is by trading off his knight here, which is not in action so far. I could move my queen here to protect my king, but I'm not really getting anything out of it. So I decided to move my king to f2. And this is actually the only move he had to make. There were no other queen moves for him. And I tried to trade queens with him, but he does not want to do that. So innocently he's moving it away, but at the same time he's putting pressure on my a2 pawn here. This pawn move to e4 is quite significant in the rest of the game, and I'm quite unsure what to do about it. I can pass it up and at the same time prohibit his knight from coming to e5, but if I do so I'll always have to block the pawn with one of my officers. I could take it, but by doing so I'll have one more of his officers pointing down my e-file, and with a innocent looking check up here towards my king king and queen will be separated, and possibly I'll be put in check where I have to sacrifice my queen, and my two rooks here are not in action. So what I decide to do is put another rook behind my queen. And I have to admit, what I didn't see coming was this move to f3, and now he's inside my position. And with this knight here protecting his rook and putting more pressure on my d-pawn, I exchange rooks, and he is still in my position. So the only thing I can do now is try to mount some kind of attack on my own, even though it's way too late. And all he has to do now is start trading off pieces. And here, of course, he's moving his pawn towards promotion, putting me in check at the same time, and I cannot move my king on neither of these squares here. And if I move my king, he'll have the ability to take my my pawn here with his rook. And I need to take this rook with my king. If this pawn, which I would like it to stay on g3, stays here, then it prohibits me from getting some way around here with my king. And this is a innocent looking move because it seems like I am trying to maintain some kind of pressure on his e-file and his pawn promotion. What it actually is here is, if he moves to e2 being a little too eager, then I'll have a draw here with the threefold repetition. But he doesn't go for that. He uses at least 10 minutes on this move here to b5, which is, to be honest, a fantastic move. And the reason for it is when I start putting him in check now, I need an extra move to take that pawn. And then he can move down to e2. And I need to continuously keep him in check now for 50 moves without anything else taken off this board to maintain a draw. And I can't do that. And right now I'm hoping that he'll move his b pawn up to protect his king, which will give me a chance to check him, take his queen. He'll get a queen, but I'll be ahead in pawns. He doesn't do that either. And of course the second reason is not to get his king back here on d7. And I have no way of stopping his king from coming closer to his queen here. And I need to go to h6 to check him so he can't maneuver his king closer to his pawn. And right now I'm just hoping that he'll move his queen here to protect his king. If he did, I have a check here. He can't move his queen to e4 because my pawn is here, and I can take his pawn. He doesn't go for that either. And he just moves his king. And right now I really don't have any more places to continue checking him, so I decided enough is enough, and he deserves his victory. Christian Poppe came in first place in class 4, and yes, I should have taken the draw when he asked me.